Robert, John, how are you, boys? Give me one sec. I'll be right with you. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Friday fun day. Fun day Friday. Friday. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Feeling a little loopy. Hopefully that translates into some good cards. Anyway, welcome. Especially for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Bit about us. We've been around for 5 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading. We ship as quickly as we can, usually within a day or two of the break. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks. When we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. So if you want a chance to get into any of our future free breaks, I can't speak so good tonight. Just hit the old subscribe button. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Brian H. Braves, Mallory M. Orioles, Tyler J. Excuse me. Red Sox, Alexis R. Cubs and White Sox, Chris C. Reds, Kyle R. Guardians, Nathan S. Rockies, Rich L. Tigers, Nathan S. Royals, Lance R. Astros, Jason H. Angels, Brian H. Dodgers, Matthew W. Brewers, John T. and Twins, Chris F. Marlins, Edward P. Mets, Stephen G. Yankees, Doug B. A's, Brian H. Phillies, John G. Pirates, Terry H. Cardinals, Jeff R. Padres, Robert H. Giants, Kyle R. Mariners, Corey A. Rays, Jason H. Rangers, Jeff R. Blue Jays, Gary V. And Nationals, Jason H. Doug, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. Oh, does anybody have anything going on for New Year's? It's tomorrow. Tomorrow night, New Year's Eve. We are going to be here for breaks. We're doing what are we doing? Capstone. Oh, the new Capstone, which came out today. New debut edition. It's the debut edition. We're going to do a couple breaks of that tomorrow night. So if you're around, if you're not partying, if you're not out drinking champagne, doing all that kind of fun stuff, come and join us. Would love to have you. Nothing crazy, just 2 breaks tomorrow night. A storm is coming? Yeah, well. Hey, look, after being a restaurant chef for 30 plus years, well, the very last day of the year I want to go out on is New Year's Eve. Romero. New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. These are all days I want to have nothing to do with the public anymore. South Stewart heir apparent and Jacob Mizorowski, refractor. First Bowman refractor. I wonder. Making surf and turf and the hanging out. Nice, surf and turf. Nice. You got it, Brian. Oh, traditional surf and turf, like filleting lobster, or are you going another way? Oh, man, these. Oh, who decided to do all this craziness? There's a Guzman for the Angels. I don't know who decided over there at the Tops Bowman factory to flip the cards upside down all over the place. It's just driving me crazy. Us slower guys, we can't catch on so quick. All right, Amador refractor for Colorado. There's a Parada and Jose Salas on the mini diamonds. Surf and turf, nice. My wife used to always be big on New Year's, like with her family, but I don't know. Ever since the pandemic, a lot of the family things disappeared because my wife has a huge family. I mean, absolutely massive. Um, and so many old and many young, so they get nervous with the older folks, which is understandable. The Angels is my man Brian. There you go. And Miami is Edward. Oh yeah, it's cheaper than going out. We used to back so the last like restaurant chef job I had before I just owned my own places, I worked for Sullivan's in Del Frisco Steakhouse. I worked for them for a long time, for about 10 years. And what we used to do on holidays was just sickening. Like we would like on a New Year's or on Valentine's Day, we would rent deuces and we'd take all the other tables out and just line it up with two tops, like as many as you could see. And when we do that, we could get like another 100+ people in the dining room. And it was just craziness, packed all night long, 150 a head, that type of thing. And it's crazy. Zach Nito draft card and Confidan refractor. See, my look, I have nothing against people going out for New Year's, but it was always my experience that most of the people went out on New Year's were people who'd never went out any other time of the year. So it was people would make me a little nervous. They were a little over their head. So they used to. I mean, they still do today. I mean, it's been many years. It's been like 16 years since I worked for them, but for the Pirates, Trace Gonzalez, black and white. Savino Boyd. Jimmy Crooks for St. Louis, aqua, not numbered. Blackjack for Washington. And Jordan Walker, refractor. We used to serve these things called knockout martinis, which they still serve today, I'm sure. Many of you may know them as Stoli Doli, basically the same thing. Pineapple and vodka marinated for 21 days or whatever, and then squeezed and poured into a glass. And ever so tasty if you've never had one. But the one thing, especially our female clients who would come in, never realized how much alcohol they actually have in them. So we had these like crazy, like 19-ounce martini glasses at Sullivan's. And basically, we used to pour like a 15-ounce martini. And when you're drinking one of those things, a 15-ounce martini, it's like 13 ounces of alcohol. Like you basically drink two and you drank a bottle of vodka. So we used to have many a young lady pass out in our dining room from pounded knockout martinis. And on New Year's was one of the nights it used to get really bad. Kasevich, Tanner, and Sal Stewart, refractor. It was always, those holidays were always interesting. Always good for a few ambulances coming to the restaurant. All right, we got a Hunter Barco purple. What do we got going on here? What do we got back here? All right. William Kempner, black and white for San Francisco. For Kyle. gone to the bar on New Year's and walked out when the sun came up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had done that too back in my earlier years. But, I'm a good boy now. So I don't, those days are over for me. Pittsburgh is Terry on the Hunter Barco. All right, let's see. Some paper first. Bellario, Fabian. And what do we got here? Spidison, Reckley, Coffee. Okay, hold on a second. Coffee must be numbered. Yeah. 131 of 250 for the Sox on the Cutter Coffee Air Apparent. For Alexis. And they got a lot of stuff in these boxes, man. They're heavy. I swear. These draft boxes are like as heavy as the jumbos are. Mikey Romero Air Apparent and Morabel Refractor. Yeah, me neither, John. Really, no, I couldn't either. It'd take me a week to recover from something like that. Now, something I used to bounce back on a Coke and a few ibuprofen would take me literally a week to bounce back from now. If I even attempted something like that. What can you say, man? I'm a wimp in my old age. Nito and Nick Bidson Refractor. Melton, Polanco, Lipsicum, and Zidane Rafaela Invicta for the Red Sox. Well, anyway, I hope everyone has a good time tomorrow night. If you are doing something, please, stay safe and stay healthy out there. That's all that's important. That's all that's important. And a Kyle Manzardo black and white for the Rays. For Jason. There you go, buddy. Jason Churio and Colton Cowser. Phillips, Palmquist, Miller, Palette, and Kristen Hernandez Refractor. And go to bed by London fireworks and go to bed. Yeah, that's smart. New Year's is really just such. There's an Elijah Green paper. Such kind of an odd holiday, I mean, I get it. New Year, new start, blah 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 blah. But the way it's treated, like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just a reason for people. It's almost like a Hallmark holiday, like Valentine's Day or whatever. Jackson Holiday Draft and Shaylin Polanco Refractor. Mm-hmm. It's so weird the way they have these set up. Henry Davis on the black and white for Pittsburgh. For Terry. There's a Jackson Holiday paper. Chase Young. I have been to Camden Yards, yes. There's a Gavin Cross refractor. Very nice for Kansas City. From my man Lance. Congrats, dude. It's been a little while. I'll tell you the last time I was at Camden Yards. I think I've told this story before, but so my son is a baseball player, which you guys who are regulars know that. He's been a 4-year starter, varsity starter at a school and all that. I mean, he's good. And he always loved Manny Machado. So we used to go to Baltimore every now and again to see a game, to see Manny play. Old Orioles videos on your time. Oh yeah, it's such a great stadium. It really is. It's so for being like the first or one of the first that they built like that. The new old stadiums, it's really such a great stadium. The last time we went is when they had those riots in Baltimore. So this is a while ago. I mean, this is what maybe 8 years ago or something like that. And they were playing the White Sox, and this was right after Abreu got in the league, and my son and I were both Abreu fans too, so we wanted to go see him. Hey, and first up, Eric Brown Jr. to 199 paper. And get that to focus. Come on, baby. There he is. For John, here you go. And all day, my son was at school, and all day I was watching the news like, oh, things are bad down there. They're going to cancel this game. No, no, no. Game's on, game's on, game's on. We drove all the way there. Steam Raphael refractor. Literally, I got inside the stadium, sat down, and as soon as we sat down, they're like, we're going to cancel today's game. I was like, oh, man. And we have a Colson Montgomery black and white for Chris. Some of the players are pretty cool, came out and signed a bunch of stuff because there was literally like 50 of us in the whole stadium. But I mean, it's not too bad a drive from where I live. It's like 90 minutes, but still, it was. But my son is one of the, well, you know how kids are. Kids get excited about something. They don't want to hear any reason why, And I even said to him, like, buddy, I don't think this game's going to happen. They've been having some issues down in Baltimore and blah, blah, blah. No, no, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. Now, if I told him it was canceled, he'd have been upset, but he'd be like, okay. But I made the mistake. I should have just told him it was canceled. And honestly, it was eerie when things are really bad down there during that whole time. But especially when we were there, like the night we were there was like one of the worst nights. And when we left the stadium, probably about 30 minutes after they announced that the game was, canceled, all you heard, it was like being in The Walking Dead or something. It was like totally a ghost town, except there were like sirens everywhere and people yelling. And I was just like, yeah, let's get on 95 and get the hell out of here. Matt McLean, Invicta. Luis Meza refractor. So that was my last trip to Baltimore. I haven't been there since, but I have been there more than a few times. And it's one of those stadiums. If you're ever interested in doing a stadium tour or seeing certain stadiums, one of those ones you got to put on your list. Judd Fabian, black and white for the Orioles. That's a nice one there. James Wood. Chromes, Jet Williams, nice one there. McLean, Luciano. Aqua, Jonathan Class for Seattle, and Michael Knorr refractor. Seattle is Corey. Elijah Green paper. Eric Brown. Paciola. Hauser. There's a Nito. Blackjack for the Royals and Kobe Mayo refractor. Zach Nito. He's so Nito. For Texas, Morabel, black and white. I'm just gonna have to stick with sleeving these for now. It's gonna take forever to top load them all. Jackson Holiday paper. Cox, Arias, Hernandez, DeLauder, and Haverson Arteaga refractor for San Francisco. And this is one product I like need a need a have somebody sleeve and top load for me. Jeez. All right, Morabel, Mikey Romero, Moore, Dunhurst. That's a refractor, just sitting in the middle of the pack there. Dustin Harris, South Stewart heir apparent, and a Connor Prelip refractor. It's kind of weird. A little extra refractor in there. Ooh, is that something on the back? Oh, yes, it is. Look at this. Ta-da! Jackson Holiday black and white. From my man Tyler. There you go, buddy. Nice hit. I saw him hanging on the back there. I said, better be black and white, that guy. Very nice. Congrats, dude. Jackson Holiday. This is Halloween. Now what am I doing? Now I've got myself all screwed up again. Okay. There you go. Bergola Pintar. Melendez, that's my dude. Yvonne Melendez. Lesko, Cappy, Campos, and for the Sox, Eric Hernandez, blue. 94 of 150 on the Eric Hernandez. For Chris C. And Jacob Miller, refractor. A little sugar-free Dr. Pepper to keep the spirits going. So sad to say something like that. All right, Burkhalter, Rincones, DeLauder, Hanson, Crawford, Wood. Ooh, look at that, Elijah Green. Elijah Green. Nice. Now, I don't know if what the odds on in Lite is for these mood ring cards. They are 1 in 60 packs in jumbo. They're kind of a pseudo case hit. I mean, technically you could get 2 in a case, but either way, they're short printed. That's a nice card. Congrats to Elijah Green in the Washington Nationals, my man Jason. There you go. And a Brady House refractor to go with it. Brady didn't have the best first year, but, you know, he could bounce back. Excuse me. So did anybody see the video? Carson Milbrandt for Miami, black and white first. Excuse me. So I saw a video of Jason Dominguez from the Arizona Fall League the other day. And I heard that they were using the computerized strike, ball and strike on a replay. and I saw it done for the first time. I'm sure you saw the video was on Instagram, so I'm sure some of you must have seen it. But I thought it was really interesting how they did it, and I wonder if or when there's a Johnson, Washington Blackjack, and Phillips refractor, if and when they're going to put it into the major league. So, like, if you didn't see, he got called a third strike. And I don't know the rules behind using it or anything like that. I just saw the video, but he got called a third strike. The guy tapped his helmet saying he wanted a replay. They put it up on the big screen in the outfield, and it was a ball, and he walked. And it was like, couldn't have been but 5 seconds to do the whole thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, try to look it up. Like, it it seems weird to do it, but at the same time, you kind of wonder why they don't, you know. Um, I do realize, being a diehard baseball fan, that the human element is a part of the game, you know. The Von Melendez draft and Verling refractor. Um, like I said, I do realize that it's part of the game, the whole human factor, the bad call, the good call, that type of stuff. But for balls and strikes, I thought it was really interesting. And here you go with a guy. Now, again, I have no idea what was going on in the game at the time or anything like that. But here's a guy who was called third strike. They do the replay. He ends up called. It was full count. He ends up walking instead. I mean, it could have a huge impact on the game, just like one call like that, you know? So I don't know if you guys have an opinion on it or if anyone saw it. I just thought it was pretty interesting. And wonder if and when it will come to Major League Baseball. You got to assume at some point they're going to do it. Brown, Kumar Rocker, Fernandez, Cox, Confidine, and Timar Johnson, Invicta for Pittsburgh. And a Brian Acuna refractor. Ezekiel Tovar. What a great name. Sorry, my piles are getting funky on me there. All right, Milbrandt, Reckley, Fabian, Crawford, and J. Allen refractor. And Denny DeAndre, black and white. For the 20s. Chris? You guys are still with me, right? You guys are hearing me? I don't get any answer there, so make me nervous. Brooks Lee, Rushing, Johnson, Barco, Kenzie, Lipsicum, and Milbrandt refractor. All right, just making sure. Everybody was very quiet. I thought somebody would have an opinion on my question, but I guess not. Amazing how that works sometimes. Jung, Hauser, DeLauder, Nito. I got you. Well, lately the things cut out a few times on me, so it gets nervous if I don't see people chat. Lawler, Cannon, Ray, Jackson Holiday, Draft, and Mason Wynn refractor. So we got the Bowman Chrome Mix coming up next, about 10:45, and then draft jumbos later tonight. Tomorrow night, a couple capstones. Oh, it's my man Herpy, Cooper Herpy, for the Cardinals. For Jeff. Here you go, buddy. Jeff R. See, I do like the human factor too. I agree with you on that part. But you got to wonder at some point if it's not, you know, you get that really big bad call in a game, which, I mean, there's tons of them you can point to, I suppose, but that's how it'll get implemented. Somebody will make a really, really bad call, like in a World Series, there's a Cole Young first, that'll decide a series or something. Jace Jung and De Los Santos. That's when you'll see it getting kicked in. Kind of like the tuck rule in football, you know? The Amador for the Rockies for Rich. Yeah, I think the human factor is part of the game. There's no doubt about it, and I enjoy it also. But in the age of technology that we're in, I think at some point we're going to get overruled. It was interesting to see it done though, and how quickly it could be done. That it doesn't have to turn into a whole rigmarole. Oh, get the headphones, look into this, but that's one of the big problems with replay is the amount of time it takes. I mean, they've gotten better for sure from what it used to be, but in certain sports, Zach Nito and Max Muncy refractor, but it was pretty interesting. Anyway, like I said, check out the video if you haven't. I'm sure it's easy to find on Instagram if you haven't seen it. My son's watching the Orange Bowl with his soon to be college team, Tennessee. He's very excited. Although the game with two backup quarterbacks wasn't exactly a barn burner from the little bit I saw, but I only saw the very beginning of it. Matt McClain Invicta and Reggie Crawford refractor. We had a Reggie Crawford printing plate last night. Get rid of it. That'll be good. It is weird though sometimes when you're watching from home. Trey Lipscomb for Washington, black and white, and like there is that noticeably bad call. The strikeout that's called on the ball that's 2 feet off the plate or this or that or whatever, and it's like, and especially when it's your team, that's when you're like, oh, they got to bring the computer. This is crazy. There was an ump in Philly. Who's the ump in Philly that everyone hated forever? Oh, God, I can't think of his name now. People were convinced that he hated the Phillies and just called against them all the time. Rob Snelling, refractor. My son saw it and he's like, "Oh, I'd be asked for replay on like every strike." He's like, "Why not?" I said, "I'm sure there's an amount of times you're allowed to do it." He's like, "I don't care. I'd do it every time I could." Ryan Reckley for San Francisco, black and white. He's like, my son's that way. He takes everything's very literal with my son. If it's in the rules, he'll take advantage of it if he can. So like, if they gave you 5 opportunities in a game to do it, my son would use all 5 every game, even if it was right down the middle. Melton to 99 for Houston. For Jason. Oh, sorry guys. files are getting out of hand over here. Disasters. Hey, Rich, are you there? You in the chat, my friend? Brannigan and Gabriel Hughes, a refractor. I'm behind the plate in game 2 of the World Series, called a perfect game. Well, you don't get any credit for being good. You only get beat up for being bad. Guys call great games all the time, and then it's like nobody cares about that. It's just when they screw up. Yeah, I don't think Rich is there either. Chris, can you put a message in the next break that we're going to start at 11 instead of 10:45? Ricardo Cabrera, refractor. Just put a note up in the chat. That way I don't have to like super rush through this last box to try and get close to time. All right, box number 4. Excuse me. Holiday paper. Confidant, Muncie, Lawler, Melendez, draft card, and Verdugo refractor. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, buddy. We have another one of these lights scheduled for Sunday night, I believe. Alex McFarland, black and white for the Phils for John G. Zagnito. All right. Campos, Acosta, Thorpe, and for Pittsburgh, Trace Gonzalez to 150. And there's an Oscar Colas refractor. Nice one there for the White Sox. Trace Gonzalez, 64 of 150. For Terry. Da, 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 da. Is anybody watching the Orange Bowl? Do you have a score update? Yanjiri Rojas for San Diego, black and white. For Robert. Should have known. Robert's a Padres man. Verdugo green. Romero. All right. Valera wood. There's a Gavin Cross. Chrome. For the Cubbies, Blackjack and Victor Acosta refractor. 14-6 Tennessee. Okay. How many that kicker from Clemson's missed like how many field goals? That poor guy. They were saying he's really good too, usually, but he missed a bunch. It is really weird to have a big game like that and two backup quarterbacks. And I guess the kid who's now the young kid for Clemson, I can't remember his name. He went to the same school as, everybody's hero in Philadelphia, Nick Foles, which is also the school that what's his name went to. Oh my God, here I go with my memory again. The guy who was the quarterback for New Orleans forever, and I can't think of his name all of a sudden. There's a mood ring, Jet Williams. Nice one for the Met. For Steven. Why can't I think of his stupid name? I feel like a moron. I know everybody's going to say it at once. Drew Brees, thank you. My God, my memory is horrible. I just can't remember people's names anymore at all. Serious, this is so bad. I mean, I've got some issues, but jeez, my memory is just horrible. I could have seen him on TV yesterday and still want to remember his name. But he went to that high school, dude. That's quite a high school. They put people, players, quarterbacks out of there. I mean, like, pretty amazing if you think about it. You got two guys who've won Super Bowls, right? Alexis Hernandez, black and white. You got a kid who's the freshman starter at Clemson, which you would think potentially he's got an NFL career in front of him, if things go the way they think it should. They must be putting something in the water down there. But I guess they were saying before the game that sometime in the past, not recently, but in the past few years, I guess Nick Foles wrote that Clemson kid, a letter about, I forget what it was about, but it's kind of interesting to be like, man, they're all from the same school. That's insane. Manuel Rodriguez, a refractor. Drew Brees. Why couldn't I remember Drew Brees? My, oh my. No, come on. There it is. Ah, man, I got this one all screwed up. Okay. Kasevich. Put these all backwards. All because I saw that stupid blue there. And upside down. Wow. All right. Mendez, Manzardo. And for St. Louis, Mason Wynn to 499. 247 to 499. I feel like I'm having a stroke here tonight or something. Brain is not working. Sonny DiChara, Cappy, and there's a Jackson Holiday. Cole Young, heir apparent, and Rain Duncan, refractor for LA. Fabian Rodriguez, Manzer, Pintar. Twins Blackjack, and Yorkie Refractor. And Cade Horton for the Cubbies. For Chris C. Churio, rushing, Young. Martin, Churio, Lesko, Luis Angel Acuna for Texas, Aqua, and Balcazar Refractor. For Jeff. There you go, buddy. The penultimate pack. 2 to go. Brooks Lee, Bolte, Sprinkle, more Cabrera, Pineda. There's a Cole Young Invicta. Ooh, an Elijah Green Refractor for Washington. Very nice. Very nice. From my man Jason. All right, last pack. We'll do a hit recap after this, and then we'll get out of here. Ooh, there's a good one for Oakland. Henry Bolte, or Bolt, I don't know how to say his name, but first, he's a good one. He is not too shabby for my man Brian. Wait. Was the second rounder. Rincones, Ford, Moore, and Crawford, Stewart, Wynn, Timar, heir apparent, and Jackson Churio Refractor on the back. Very nice. All righty, folks. Was not too shabby, that one. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, I couldn't do this without you, and then I would be sad, of course. If you're not in any of our other breaks this evening, please stay safe, stay healthy out there. Have a wonderful, wonderful New Year. If we don't see you. And if you are around and want to come and check us out, we'll be here, obviously, tonight. We'll be here tomorrow night. We'll be around. And if not, I'll see you next year. I hate that joke. I have a guy who works for me, like, every time I would see him, like, the day before we closed the cafe for the holiday break. See you next year. I want to turn around and smack him. Yeah, some people just get a kick out of things. I do too, stupid dad joke type of stuff. Like whenever we pull the orange parallel, that's my favorite. That's John's favorite. He likes that one the best. Thanks, Brian. Aren't you glad I opened this pack of cards? So stupid. All right, bear with me for a sec. I'm telling you, man, these light boxes put out a lot of stuff. I mean, I know I get a little top loader happy sometimes, but geez Louise. All right, this guy goes over here. All right, we're doing hit recap for 2022 Bowman Draft Lite quarter case break number 6. This is just some stuff I pulled out. Of course, we'll double check when we go through. We had Jackson Holiday Paper, Holiday Chrome, Gavin Cross, Holiday Paper. I'm sorry, Cross Chrome. Gosh. Okay, Nito, Young, Fabian, Johnson, another Holiday Paper. DeLauder, Nito, Williams, and a Parada. That was like the very first card we pulled, I think. Never went into a sleeve. So we'll make sure they're all taken care of. Other parallels and such. Papers, Hunter Barco to 250. Eric Brown Jr. to 199. Jacob Melton to 99. Mason Wynn to 499. There's a nice Elijah Green refractor. Cutter Coffee to 250. I don't know why I have a hard time saying that dude's name. We had two Mood Rings, one Jet William and one Elijah Green. A couple nice ones there. Jose Salas, Acuna, Amador, Crooks, and Class. And then we had Eric Hernandez, blue to 150, and Trace Gonzalez, blue to 150. Black and white Ray Waves. We had a lot of them. Guzman, Gonzalez, Kempner, Davis, Manzardo, Montgomery, Fabian, Morabel. There he is. Jackson Holiday. Milbrandt, DeAndre, Herpy, Lincecum. That's his name until somebody tells me different. That's how you say is that dude's name. I'm sorry. His name's Herpy. Reckley, McFarland, Rojas, Hernandez, Horton, and Bolte on the black and white. All right, folks. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes with the Bowman Chrome Mixer. Have a good one. Bye.